Hello and welcome to the Mansfield Town Shirts YouTube channel. Today we're going to be looking through the collection at long sleeve shirts. Not something you see very often at Mansfield at the minute, but we're going to be looking through all the long sleeve shirts that I've collected so far. Now the first long sleeve shirt, or the earliest long sleeve shirt that I've got in my collection, is this shirt from 94-95. Now it was actually worn the following season by the reserve team 95-96, which is why the Mansfield Bitter logo here, which was only worn in 95-96, was added to the shirt. Previously had abacus lighting on. But this is a replica style shirt, so you can see the activity logo is actually on the front of the shirt here, rather than as it appears on the player shirt differently in 94-95. Still got the Football League patches on that you can see here, the larger ones. But it's a fantastic looking shirt. I've talked about this shirt previously, the Steve Wilkinson number 9 that we have from 94-95, but the reserve team wore this, so it's got no number on the back. It was a blood shirt, a spare shirt for the reserves, but it's a fantastic shirt, and the pattern continuing down the sleeves. One of my favourite shirts of all time. Certainly, yeah, up there with the best we've had, I think, this one. Continuing on the theme of shirts that are some of my favourites, we have this one here. This is the 96, 97, 97, 98. So worn for 2 seasons. Home shirt. This one worn in particular by Stuart Watkiss. See the number 4 on the back there. Signed by the whole squad at the time. I think it's signed by the 97, 98 squad. Made by Beaver. But the long sleeves, the pattern, the cuffs, everything about this is brilliant. I love everything about this shirt. Love the collars as well at the top. You've got the big collar on the top there. Got the pattern continuing all the way around the back, and the blue continuing down the sleeves. Got the Football League patches on the arms there. This is one of the best shirts I think Mansfield ever had, personally. And it was part of a fantastic set, which you'll see now, in fact, as we pull out the away shirt, which is the white one. Again, long sleeves. The blue cuffs on this are immaculate. Long sleeves are only available in players' shirts, so not available as a replica. We've got a substitute here. Number 14 here on the back, which was worn at Cambridge in the 97-98 season, where this shirt was actually only worn once, with the chocolate and blue one being the main away shirt that season. But I think you'll all agree it's an incredible shirt. The pinstripe blue pattern, the retro Mansfield Town badge here, the beaver, you can't really see the subliminated beaver, but there is a shiny, you can see it there, look. Yeah, there's like a subliminated beaver pattern. The manufacturer's all the way through. Would have been nice maybe if they were a little bit higher, just to avoid clashing with the sponsor. But all in all, this is a superb shirt, and as a part of the set with the home shirt here, you know, you'll struggle to find a better set of shirts from any season that Mansfield have had. And that was, of course, complemented then by the third shirt, which again is in the long sleeves that you can see here. Football League badge. This one is a blood shirt, so a spare shirt. It was worn 97-98, has got blood on it. But again, this is such a fantastic shirt. It was a centenary shirt. As for this pattern this colour was first worn by the Mansfield Wesleyans in 1897. You can see the centenary badge there, 1897 to 1997. Slightly different beaver logo to the other shirts. Same sponsor, same massive collars, and this is a fantastic shirt. I think a lot of people would probably say this is up there with their favourite shirts from Mansfield. We've done this again in 2015-16. It was replicated. They did the same pattern, which you can see right here. So we did do a remake version of this. Unfortunately, not available in long sleeves, which we'll get to in a bit. But yeah, a fantastic shirt, this one, and one of the very best. We're moving a couple of seasons on for this one. We're looking at 1999 to 2000. And this Russell Athletic shirt, again, obviously, long sleeves, nationwide patches had slightly changed by then. They didn't have the white background on them. But this waffle pattern, which I think we've talked about in previous videos, is such an incredible pattern. Very strange feeling to wear this shirt. I think the players felt the same, speaking to a few who wore this from this time. The badge had changed to more of what we know, as it had done the previous season. This one worn by Chris Greenick is still covered in the mud that you can see down here. Worn in the final game of the season, given to a fan. And this is I say this on every shirt, I think, these days. It's one of my favourites. Chris Greenacre is probably one of my favourite, certainly my favourite 11 of all time that I've seen. And it's just such a wonderful, plain shirt. It's very simple. We had no sponsor that season, but very, very effective. And yeah, I think a lot of Stags fans hold this quite dearly, this one. As we're just looking at long sleeve shirts that I have, rather than long sleeve shirts the Stags have worn, we move on to the promotion season of 2001-2002, where we got promoted, finishing third in then Division 3, so what is now League 2. And we have the away shirt. So I don't have a long sleeve home shirt, but what I do have is a long sleeve away shirt. And you can tell which season this is worn. So because we wore this shirt for 2 seasons, I can tell this is not the League 1 season because it has the rectangle nationwide patches, whereas League 1 was oval. And you can see this one here, vodka kick sponsor, very iconic, worn by Lester Loney, Matt Piper, who opted for the long sleeve shirt rather than the short sleeves, which a lot of players did back then. There's a lot of alternates around. Chris Greenacre wore long sleeve quite a lot. Disley went for a bit of a mixture of short and long sleeve. Lee Williamson preferred long sleeve, so it was a little bit of a mismatch depending. Les Robinson preferred the short, so it sort of depends on the player preference. But this is an iconic Mansfield Town shirt, very much for the season that we had, the promotion season. It's homemade, so you see the official MTFC merchandise with the Stags written in the inside the collar there. So it was made by the club themselves with another sort of reminder down there. But we did a fantastic effort. All of the pinstripe down the side. But this was worn for 2 seasons into League 1 the following season. But yeah, an iconic shirt and a brilliant example in long sleeves as well. So we move now into the League 1 season that I was talking about, and the home shirt did change. So the away shirt didn't change, but the home shirt did change. We've got Craig Disley's here with the cut collar, easy for me to say. Still MTFC merchandise, so still homemade. Like I said, with the patches, you can tell they've changed to oval patches rather than square. This one is Craig Disley's, an incredible player, one of my favourites of all time, and a lot of people, I think, from that area would say that. Simply a stag on the back. There's a nice little motif on there. The iconic VK sponsor, really in keeping with the shirt, and they very kindly obviously changed the colour of their logo depending on what the Stags required on the shirt. You've got the pinstripe this time running horizontally, with the big blue banner across the middle, centralised Stags badge, and this really worked despite relegation. Again, this is one of Mansfield fans, I think, favourite shirts, and again you've got the cuffs there on the long sleeves. But yeah, it's a fantastic shirt this, and one I'm very delighted to have. We move on then to the following season, which is 2003-2004, back into League 2. The Stags reached the playoff final before ultimately losing to Huddersfield. But along the way, we had this away shirt. New sponsor, Imperial Electrical, again homemade, so you got the official MTFC merchandise here. So there's no manufacturer of here. Very different shirt to the previous seasons. Very different material. You can see the sort of subtle. It's got like a whitish bits and bobs in the background there. Big collar again, big open neck area here, which the players preferred to the previous ones where they had to cut them. Long sleeve here, matching cuffs, matching the same blue as everywhere else. This one worn by Lee Williamson. See, the numbers had a bit of an attack on it, but what a player Lee Williamson was from midfield, a fantastic player, went on to play on a lot higher level than Mansfield. But a fantastic shirt. This again, you got the MTFC merchandise down the bottom. Worn as we got to the playoff final. This was worn throughout the season away from home, and a brilliant example of another long sleeve shirt from that time. So the same season, 2003-04, I haven't got a long sleeve example of the home shirt to show you today, but what I have got is a long sleeve example of the playoff final shirt, which is this one here. So this was the 2004-05 home shirt that the club decided to wear 1 game early, to wear in the final, to showcase the new shirt. But unfortunately, it would end in a little bit of disaster as we lost to Huddersfield on penalties. You see the Millennium Stadium playoff final there right in. It's got no league patches. This one was issued to Andy White, who you will have seen the interview with Stag Shirt Stories on this channel. If you haven't seen that, go back and have a look. It's a fantastic interview, and Andy is such a great guy. This one, though, manufactured by Garmin, so the club brought Garmin in. You can see them up there as well. They were brought in as the club shirt supply after a few years without having one. And yeah, they were brought in to supply this new shirt, worn once in the final. It's quite a classy shirt. They are massive, unfortunately. They all seem to be XL. This one is XXL. But yeah, this was Andy's shirt that was issued to him. He didn't make an appearance on the bench, having been on loan at Kidderminster and a variety of other clubs during the season. But absolutely delighted to have this one, and another great example of a long sleeve shirt. We move on to the next season after that, 2004-05. So we've already established what the home shirt looked at, because we've just looked at Andy White's playoff final shirt. The away shirt was the same style, so the same pattern, different colours obviously. This one white, and white and orange wasn't really a common colour for Mansfield, but I really like this shirt. I think a lot of people do. It's got the cuff pattern here on the long sleeve version. You've got Coca-Cola League patches which were brought in for that season. And overall, I think it's a great shirt. Perry Electrical continued obviously as a sponsor. You've got Garmin up here, you've got the normal Stags badge there. You've got the orange pattern that continues and then is matched on the cuffs, and then this sort of dark blue on the side panels there. Very plain on the back. Alex John Baptiste, one of our best defenders of the last, certainly of this century, one of our best defenders, and went on to play in the Premier League and much higher level. The Mansfield manager signed, of course, here. But yeah, a fantastic shirt. This worked very well with the orange shorts that it came with, and a brilliant Stag shirt. Moving into the following season, 2005-06, still with Garmin, and the home shirt looked a little bit like this. Long sleeves, look at the cuffs. You've got this sort of split mesh panel at the bottom, so the bottom material is mesh, and the top material is the standard shirt material that we had at the time. V-neck, which was different to some of the previous shirts. Coca-Cola League patches again. Perry Electrical sponsor, albeit slightly different, with the red colouring on the electrical bit there. And this is a brilliant shirt, actually, especially long sleeve. I mean, it's got mud on it. It's Giles Coke's shirt, midfielder who, with a few of the players I've mentioned from this era, went on to play at a high level. The Mansfield played a lot for Sheffield Wednesday, for Motherwell, in the Scottish Premier League. So the number font also changed to this sort of brighter blue, wider with the Football League bits at the bottom. A really nice shirt. Nice to have in long sleeve as well. I've got quite a few of these, mainly in short sleeve, so nice to snag a long sleeve one. And again, weren't available to buy. So yeah, really pleased to have this one and to have Giles Coke's. Moving swiftly on, unfortunately, to our last long sleeve shirt in the Football League. The last long sleeve shirt we have worn in the Football League was in our relegation season, 2007-08, with Carlotti. And this shirt, which a lot of you will remember, probably have bad memories for. This one in long sleeve here, a really silky shiny material. It's got mud on the back of the sleeve. You can't really tell, but there is mud on the back of the sleeve there. Sponsors often got worn, so you couldn't really see the writing when everything faded off, so you can see this one. This was worn by midfielder Keith Briggs, who was on loan from Macclesfield at the time. You see there the massive numbers. The players' versions had Marston Smooth on the back, which the fans' versions didn't have. So that's how you can tell it's a player's shirt, other than I got this from the man himself. Got a bit of damage here where it's been worn and bits have pulled away. The material is really nice. And I think the overall shirt design is nice. It's sort of in keeping with the sort of Adidas ones at the time, where they had the similar sort of patterns and then the sort of inside patterns here. Other than relegation, I think this would be a bit of a classic shirt, but unfortunately, due to relegation, a lot of people would rather forget it, I think. Same season, same design, similar design, Carlotti. Football League patches, long sleeve again, with the FIFA 08 sponsor that was added for the Harrogate Railway televised FA Cup game, which the Stags just about won 3-2. This one again worn by Keith Briggs with the white numbers on the back, given to me by the player himself. This has got a bit of a meshy style at the bottom, so it's the same material, then it stops and goes to like mesh at the bottom. You've got this as all mesh across here. I think this is probably a little bit more classic for the sponsor rather than anything else, with it being FIFA 08. I know the players got gifted some copies of the game for having the sponsor, and we had that from the Harrogate Railway game onwards. You've got the bit of Carlotti writing down the bottom that's a bit worn there because Keith wore it. But it's a nice shirt, and I think light blue is one of the sort of favoured away colours that people have and associate with Mansfield away from home. But unfortunately, due to the relegation, again with the home shirt, this shirt is tarnished a little bit. We now move into the National League, unfortunately, 2008-09, our first season in non-league football. And the first shirt that we have is made by Canterbury. Same sponsor as the previous season, Sutton Pipelines. Got a bit of mud on the top there. V-neck. The material isn't the greatest to wear. You've got really small cuffs here at the bottom, you can see, so smaller cuffs than you would have on the other shirts. This one worn by now YouTube sensation Curtis Shaw. Guardian Gas rear sponsor. First time we'd had a rear sponsor at the top. Before we had Marston Smooth at the back. National League numbering, which was standard at the time, with the blue square Premier sleeve patches, which were the sponsor of the National League at the time, and for all the time that Mansfield were in the National League. But for a first effort, I guess for Canterbury, it was an okay shirt. I wasn't a massive fan of the material. Great in long sleeve though. I think, again, as most shirts do, it looks a lot better in long sleeve. But a nice shirt nonetheless. The away shirt from that season, again, we have in long sleeve. This I prefer, I think, to the home shirt. I prefer the design. We've got the little Canterbury dots down the side. Don't really do a great deal of anything, so I think they're aesthetic more than anything else. Little bit of a design on the cuff there, not a massive amount, but not a massive amount of detailing on it. Overall, I think it's a nice shirt. Again, white is quite a popular colour. Mansfield wore white as a home colour for a while during our history, and again, you've got the black numbers on the back. This one, Louis Briscoe's, sourced from the man himself. Guardian Gas again. Now the Guardian Gas is a little bit lower because you have this sort of curved pattern up here, which then forces everything down, which means everything and the number and the name end up a little bit lower than potentially they would be, which makes it look a little bit odd. But it's a nice shirt. I think for Canterbury's first away effort, I think they did a good job. We move a couple of seasons on, and we move to my favourite manufacturer of Mansfield Town shirts in recent history, an Area. And this one sponsored by Hymas Home, so the sponsor had changed, the manufacturer changed, we changed to Area. The badge was a little bit smaller. You've got the little bit of a Area specific bits and bobs on the side down there. And I think this is a fantastic shirt, one of my favourites. You've got the cuff at the bottom, slightly different colour to the rest of the shirt. It's a bit strange, but a lot of a darker amber, more almost orange, this shirt. In fact, it pretty much is orange. You've got Mansfield 103.2 on the back. You've got the white number in the white pattern, the white stitching. I think you can see there, signed by Paul himself. You've got the split stripe pattern, which is a really nice detail. And the long sleeve version of this, I think, is probably my favourite long sleeve shirt, or one of my favourite long sleeve shirts. Don't think it was commercially available either in long sleeve, so great one to have, a player's shirt. And Area did a fantastic job, I think, with this. The material's nice as well, feels nice to wear. And yeah, a fantastic shirt all around, this one. So the away shirt that season, I do have a long sleeve version, but unfortunately, it's been cut, so you can see this one's been cut here. So this was a long sleeve version of this shirt, but Connor Higginson didn't want it to be long sleeve, cut it. The shirt was very kindly donated by the player, so I do have a long sleeve version of the away shirt, but unfortunately I can't show it yet because they've cut it off, which is not a problem. We do have the third shirt, however, in long sleeve, with the Hymas Homes on. Very rare this. We have a short sleeve match worn version, but we only have a replica in long sleeve. It was sold in very limited numbers in the club shop at the end of the season, in long sleeve, as you can see here. Manufactured by Area, Hymas Homes again. Slightly different printing to the players' shirts, but lovely material. They did a really good job with this, actually, I think. It was the same shirt for the following season as the away shirt, albeit with a different sponsor, with Green King as the sponsor. You can see the cuffs down there. Nice shirt, I think. Overall, I think it's a good shirt. Yeah, nice one to have, and quite if you have one, it's quite rare. We're into my final two long sleeve shirts that I have in the collection, and this is the third shirt from the following season, 2011-12. Centralised Green King sponsor. Area decided to move to the centre of the shirt for whatever reason. Blue square again. Briscoe on the back with a National League numbering. You can see the sleeves there with the little white little bits on the cuff. This is a great shirt. Never sold commercially at all, short or long sleeve. So I have short sleeve version, which is Rishi Sutton's, but it's nice to have a long sleeve version as well, which is Louis Briscoe's. And this is a great shirt, one of my favourite designs. Light blue again, which always looks good with Mansfield colours. And Area did a great job. I don't think they missed with any of their shirts, to be honest. They've got the white stitching here that complements the white pattern on the front and the back of the sleeves. And yeah, a really good all-round shirt, I think, this one. And moving into my last long sleeve shirt that I have is from the promotion winning season, the title winning season 2012-13. I don't have a home shirt in long sleeve. I have 3 short sleeves, but unfortunately not a long sleeve yet. But what I do have is probably even more rare. I have the away shirt in long sleeve with the yellow cuffs here. It's beautiful. It's an absolutely beautiful shirt. You've got Stags bespoke own number set and font set. Rather than using the National League ones, we've got Stags here. We've got the yellow. I think as in a Stags away shirt, matching the colours with the white, the yellow and the blue, I don't think you can get much better. Lovely V-neck here. The sponsor even match. Everything is perfect about this shirt. It's one of my real favourites. It's got Adam Chapman, the back who joined late in the season. This one worn in the last away game of the season, I believe, before the Hereford game. So yeah, fantastic shirt. I think it was worn at Braintree. I think that's where it was worn. But yeah, brilliant shirt. Still got mud on it. Sourced from a fan. And it's it's a superb shirt, and it's unfortunately the last time the club wore away shirts because long sleeve shirts, because since then we had Surridge then in the first season back in the Football League, and they've not produced a long sleeve shirt, so unfortunately we've had to endure the season with no long sleeve shirts. Players now wear the underarm or whatever you want to call it quite a lot, but no long sleeve shirts have been available. Even now we've moved to Castore, goalkeepers don't have long sleeve shirts anymore. So it seems like the long sleeve shirts, certainly for Mansfield Town, aren't making a comeback. But hopefully you've enjoyed seeing the ones that we have wore and the ones that I do have in the collection. If you did like them, leave me a comment, drop a like on the video, subscribe if you haven't. It really does mean a lot. I do read all the comments and it's great to see people interacting with the videos. Follow us on the other social medias, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, X. They're all in the description below. So thank you very much for the support, and I really hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.